I'm Orestria, and this is Patch Watch. I didn't get one out last week because I recorded it twice and it didn't work. So yeah, we're just going to do this again. I'm doing the March 1st and the March 9th patches. The March 1st patch was very small, and one of the changes was a minor buff to Nova. She needs a lot more than minor buffs, and for some reason they keep buffing just the same one talent, which is Snipe Master. Basically, Snipe Master lets you build up a lot of bonus damage on your snipe, but if you hit anything that's not a hero with your snipe, you lose all that bonus damage. Which is an issue because Nova's already like the worst hero in the game when it comes to certain objectives or to taking bosses or anything like that. And now it's even worse because if you use your snipe on the boss, you lose your bonus damage. Now the bonus damage does build up very fast. There are some cases for this talent. Some people do really well with it. It's just, I don't understand why this is the only thing on Nova that they're buffing. I just missed. Boop! No bonus damage.
I'll make it happen.
I have fast cooldowns on just so I can stack up the bonus damage more easily. If I hit things. There we go, 60% bonus damage.
Yeah, I like that.
Boop, 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 boop. Still on the previous patch, Rhaegar received some changes to try and make him less OP by nerfing his lightning shield talent somewhat. So basically what happened was they reduced the shield radius. They this no longer increases the duration. This one gives a smaller shield than it used to, and they increased the cooldown on Ancestral Healing while decreasing the cooldown on Bloodlust. He's still more or less the strongest healer in the game, though. And honestly, at this point, I feel like it's less that they need to nerf Rhaegar and more that they need to buff the other healers, because the other healers just aren't performing. And it's interesting because, like, in some ways I think some of the healers could be de-nerfed and it would be fine. Like, if they gave back Brightwing some of what she had before, maybe not the, you know, actual bug where she was double healing herself. But I feel like old OP Brightwing wouldn't even be that OP anymore. I'm not supposed to be talking about Brightwing. Alright, on to the new patch and Falstad. They buffed some of Falstad's lesser used talents, and I'm not sure if it'll make any difference to how people play him. Gathering Storm now gives you 1 damage every time you hit an enemy hero instead of 2. Blizzard has said that they really like these, like, questing type talents where doing something in particular improves you over time. Yep. They also increased the range on Updraft for barrel rolling. I'm pretty sure it's the kind of thing that no one's ever going to take, but playing with it here, it's really fun. Woo! So far. Woo! Can I get into their base? Woo! I'm so dead now. Oh! Woo! That was purposeful. That was very critical need-to-know information right there. Charged up hits 3 times instead of 2 times. Ouchie. Let's get charged up, because why not? Boomerang! It does more damage when you reactivate it, and they did something to the range of the reactivation explosion to make it match the visuals more. Pachoo! I don't really know what it looked like before, so I can't really help you there. Oh, and was that it? No, there's one more. Thunder Strikes does 20% more damage instead of 15% more damage. Also, one more thing that happened in the previous patch. They changed it. They gave us more pings. More pings! We need so many more pings. Now you can Alt-left click to declare that your ultimate is ready, or that it's down. And again, it doesn't actually just work on ultimates, it works on any ability. Boom, boom, boom. Does it work? Too many announcements. I think it also works on Z. I'm pretty sure I saw a Brightwing do it in Quick Match. Yes, I am ready to use Flight. Wow, bought Arthas. And it also affects your health and mana. If you are below 25% on health or mana, then you can ping it. If you're above 25%, you can no longer make the ping, which is a little annoying. Sometimes being at 40% mana is low mana, depending on the character and the situation. But, you know, baby steps, still nice. Also, I discovered possibly the most fun thing in existence is Gust with no cooldown. Get away! This is the best way of pushing ever. Hacha! Hacha! I wonder how many minions are stacked up in there now. Okay, back to business. Next up is Greymane, and this should be short and sweet. They nerfed his Gillian Cocktail build by reducing primary target damage and splash damage. Basically, Blizzard was worried that this was like the only right choice in Paladin builds, so they nerfed that, and in compensation, they buffed his auto attacks. So his auto attacks are doing 145 instead of 138 at level 1. Obviously, we're not at level 1 here. Not much to say there. Unless it matters that I'm a lion. Slash dance, it'll be okay. Blizzard has finally made some attempts to fix Li Ming, in the extent that they were worried about the kind of damage she was doing to structures. So magic missiles now do half damage to structures. So you can't just, I'm not even in range.
Where to?
You can't just obliterate structures quite the same way. That said, your W still does full damage to structures, but yeah, it'll take her a lot longer to do her same structure-killing cheese than it used to. Also... Goodness, what level is it at? I don't usually play with the magic missile talents. Oh, that wasn't one of the ones, was it? I don't usually play with the magic missile talents, so I'm not 100% what level it is. Here it is. So what they've done is Mirrorball now increases the mana cost of magic missiles, and Fireflies now decreases the cost of magic missiles. They were just trying to, like, change which one you'll pick. I feel like this probably won't make much difference to anyone, but there it is.
I become more.
Let's go jump on Arthas' face. Ah!
This were easy. A clever ploy.
And now for maybe the most surprising change in this patch, Vala changes. Vala has long been heralded as the most balanced hero in the game, win rate right in their target area, so it's really interesting to see her getting alterations. Especially because they're not at all what I was hoping. I was really hoping that Vala would get some mana costs reduced. Because with the way Li Ming can empty her portfolio and the way Vala can empty hers, Vala's auto attack, Li Ming's ability damage. Obviously Li Ming needs to be able to use her abilities more, but it still feels rough when you're always out of mana, even on auto attack Vala. And I've always played auto attack Vala. I haven't played the multi-shot, and multi-shot got nerfed and auto attack got buffed. So it worked out for me, sucks for all of you. So basically what happens is her trait has changed. Oh gosh, there's minions. They increased her basic attack damage in general. And then they increased, your attack damage that you get from your stacks from 2% to 3%. And then they've also buffed Punishment and Rancor. Punishment has increased. You now get 4 hatred stacks per ability used instead of 3. And someone on Reddit did the math and says that it takes 7 or 8 seconds for Rancor to actually catch up in damage to Punishment. So I might have to try that out soon. And then they also buff... I just took the wrong talent, didn't I? Oh. They also buffed Manticore. Manticore now does 60% additional damage instead of 50% additional damage.
Perfect.
So that's interesting. Meanwhile, Multi-Shot has had its basic damage reduced. Level 1 damage was 164 and it's now 148. They buffed Caltrops. They buffed Caltrops. If you don't know what Caltrops are,
Swift and silent.
you jump and you get these little bomb things. They slow a little bit and do a little bit of damage, and they're really pathetic, and it's usually a bad sign if the Vala on your teams took Caltrops. But whatever. And then Rain of Vengeance, which was already the ultimate that I always took,
Yes,
had its
I
damage
see.
increased. Why do I always take Rain of Vengeance? Well, for one thing, it's CC, which Vala doesn't get any of otherwise. And for another thing, when you do Strafe and your auto-attack Vala, you lose all of your stacks. And losing all of your stacks is bad. It's just bad. Hey, get over here so I can Manticore you. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so those 391s are my Manticore attacks, my bonus damage attacks. Boom. Not bad. Everybody's favorite Slug also received some changes. And maybe not as positive a changes as some of us would have hoped. They have nerfed the Toxic Nest silliness that has been going on.
Yes.
Basically the best thing Avatar is good at right now is these nests. And they changed it so that Vile Nest... Oh, there it is. They changed it so that Vile Nest... Ah! And then I didn't take it. Awesome. Vile Nest's slow has been reduced. So you're not slowed as much when you get hit by it. Or for as long, apparently. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Slap him. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Slap him. This is how not to play Avatar, by the way.
Destination confirmed.
Pick Mule. This is really how not to play Avatar. In exchange for nerfing his nest, they buffed his Carapace to be a slightly bigger shield. But overall, considering Avatar was already one of the weaker heroes, it feels really rude to nerf the one thing he's still good at. Run away! Next up is Zagara, who sadly has received some nerfs. I suppose it was time. They nerfed Hunter Killer to have less health. So if you're being Hunter Killered, it's a lot more viable to just turn around and kill it than it used to be. Oh yeah, see, he went down pretty fast there. And that's pretty sad, but I feel like it was pretty inevitable because people have been complaining about the power of Hunter Killer for, you know, eternity. But that is not the only way she got nerfed.
I feel stronger already.
Rapid inflation. Devouring Maw got nerfed. It got a cooldown increase. What did they say about the cooldown increase? Just that Devouring Maw is really, really powerful in team fights, so they felt that you shouldn't always have it available. That's all. Oh no, we didn't get the kill? Oh, he came back out though. Next up is Karazim. Karazim got a really interesting change, and I'm afraid I don't play him quite enough to really be sure what to say about it. Basically, they increased the base healing of Breath of Heaven, but then decreased the second wave you get from Echo of Heaven from 50% to 35%. They felt like he was healing too much with this talent, and that it was reducing his flexibility because people were, you know, always taking that talent for the healing. So now he should have more ability to heal in his base kit. I don't know. If you play a lot of Charism and you have some like serious opinions on whether this was a buff, was a nerf, or a nerf, I'd honestly be curious to hear. Because I am unsure. He seems like he's still pretty good at punching things in the face, to me. Now, to the character who probably received the most changes, and is yet another character I don't use a lot, so it makes it harder to say what's going on. Artanis. They are trying to make Artanis tankier, and they consider this buffs, but a lot of people on Reddit are actually complaining because of certain talents that were important to his more damage-oriented builds that actually got a nerf. So let's move on, and this might take, you know, bear with me here. So his base health and base regeneration were both increased. So in a sense, he's just straight up more survivable that way. Oh, so bad. On to talons. Oh lord, they don't all fit on one thing. This is gonna be rough. Amateur opponent. The bonus damage against non-heroic targets was increased from 100% to 150%, so I guess that makes him a better jungler. Now, the problem is when it comes to the triple attack talents, or rather to his W talents, whatever, they also nerfed triple strike. It still gives you 3 attacks instead of 2, but the cooldown is increased, which is really critical when you're using his attacks to get his shields back. Shield battery. Whoa, where are you going? Shield battery cooldown reduction has been increased. Phase bulwark. The duration of ability damage reduction has been increased, so this one got a buff. And Shield Surge also got a buff. Shield... That's like right where my speech impediment is. Shield Surge gives you a bonus shield that's 100% instead of 50%.
There can be no doubt.
We're not done yet! Templar's Zeal. Where'd you at? The cooldown recharge rate is increased from 75 to 100%. So that's pretty good. More shields. Always more shields. That's what it's all about. I feel like I messed up that charge. Oh, Artanis can never catch anybody. Alright, I already talked about the Twin Blades. Phase Prism! Yeah, they like went for everything here. Phase Prism, they removed a talent called Kadarian Resonance, and I cannot for the life of you tell me what that was. Tell you what that was. What did I say? Chrono Surge! Your attack speed bonus has been increased from, this used to be 25%, and now it's 40%, so you get a lot more damage. Does anyone take these Phase Prism talents at all? Warp Sickness. The slow has been increased, and Graviton Vortex. It also reduces the cooldown of Phase Prism. I feel like they were definitely telling the truth when they said no one picks these talents, but I feel like what they've done is not necessarily going to change that. A lot of people on Reddit were complaining about the changes to Triple Strike. I don't know how big a deal it is personally. But yeah, if you're used to playing a lot of Arcanus, he probably feels a little bit different now. Also, seriously, I'm gonna get this Master Skin just to wear this ridiculous coloring all the time. I love it. I feel like a peacock.
Our path is clear.
Alright, and last but not least, Sonya. Sonya got a nerf. A nerf, I say.
Hurry.
It's too bad. Wrath of the Berserker's cooldown has increased from 45 seconds to 60 seconds. Now, this is already an interesting ultimate because it's based around the fact that it lasts as long as you keep it up. As long as you are generating fury by hitting things or being hit by things, the ultimate will stay up. So, it's still totally possible to have the ultimate off cooldown again before you ever lose the ultimate. They've just made it harder.
Direct my fury.
Supposedly it's gonna allow people to show off their, like, management with her, and they're basically saying, like, if you're really good at Sonya, it won't really make a difference, and if you were using it like a crutch, then you're doomed. But it's still pretty annoying. I'm not totally sure it was necessary, but I guess Blizzard's numbers say it was, so. I'm trying to get through it without, trying to get through to the free, without, yes, there we go. I've got it up again.
Good riddance.
Alright. And that's it. Till next patch. Look at people, man. Look at us while you're doing that. Yeah. Yeah, girl. You're being sorted a little bit.
Of course.
Not ready to leave yet? You can watch me play more HOTS, watch me play HOTS with Demonac, or watch Demonac and I fight over what show to watch in Anime Indecision.